We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Change the name of the high school and all James Woods can say is, ooh, I'll be second day. 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 When a ball turned into a vampire, all James Woods could say was, ooh, I'll be second day. 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 They sat around the house and said, ooh, I'll be second day. 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 And you know that James Woods practiced his lines real well, but everything that he reads becomes real hard to spell. Everyone tries to help him, but the words just won't come out. There's only one thing he can think of, and it's what comes out his mouth. Second day, ooh, I'll be second day. Ooh, I'll be second day. Ooh, I'll be second day. When he comes out of his house, the women scream and shout. Ooh, I'll be second day. 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 And I know that he's an actor, the best of them all when he says, ooh, I'll be second day. I'll be second day. Ooh, I'll be second day. Ooh, I'll be second day. Reese's Pieces on the floor and watch him come a saying, ooh, I'll be second day. 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 And you know that James Woods practices lines real well, but everything that he reads becomes real hard to spell. Everyone tries to help him, but the words just won't come out. There's only one thing he can think of, and it's what comes out his mouth. Ooh, I'll be second day. 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 When he comes out of his house, the women scream and shout. Ooh, I'll be second day. Ooh, I'll be second day. Ooh, I'll be second day. I'll be second day. Ooh, I'll be second day.
That girl, seen things you people wouldn't believe.
So, a creature for my amusement. Prepare for battle.
Fucking thing sucks!
Here we go. Uh-oh. Drinky McDrinks-a-lot's in the house. What happened? Yeah, I was telling my crew here that I'm about to introduce you to that I ain't have me no herbage, so I had to get the devil's teat milk. It's so good. Those milk those teats. Welcome everybody to Extra Booyah. I'm your host, Uncle Warren. As the little thing there had just said, this thing. Yeah, you saw it. Okay. Shout out to the chat. Shadow Band Refugee. What's up, buddy? Elle's in the chat, and she's here with us too. She must be a witch. Gamer for Life. Reefer After Dark. What's up, buddy? Ed Heller. Love that guy. My Chicago guy. Him and his like swimming pool of pizza. A Tango ate me, baby. Variants here. What's up? Kim, hello, doll. How are you? She's my fellow New Yorker. That's it so far. So we'll shout out everybody here in as they come in. Tonight I have a special treat for you. I have a bunch of folks that I've been blessed to be on their show, and I got to tell you, I had a rock and roll good time on there. And I said, I got to get these motherfuckers on the Bulla. I got to get them on the EB. What's up, kid? Doses. So after some hard convincing and some blackmail, they decided to be here with me. And let me bring them in here. Oh, look at these lovely peoples. Just beautiful. I swear to God, if I was stupid and I had children, I would want them to be my babies. I really would. What is going on? What? Look at y'all. No, stop it, Chris. You in that polo shirt look like you just got off the golf course. What's up, kid? Just call me Candle because I'm lit. Okay.
We gotta have our male model on the team.
Oh my god.
Y'all some sexy ass motherfuckers. I ain't even gonna lie. Charlie Brown's Rebellion's here. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Yeah, we got it's usually the same people. Mariana's here too. What's going on?
Hey.
What's up?
I'm a little more functional when I've had edibles because I'm a little slower and my thought process is a little better. But no edibles tonight. I had to do the drinkables. And, we're lucky to get this far. I'm just going to say, because I'm not very too functional, words not come out right kind of thing. So if you don't know who these people are, these are the super friends of the Political Matrix. You can catch their show on YouTube 11 o'clock on the East Coast on Saturday night. Is that correct? What?
New time breaking here. We're going to be going 9 o'clock.
What?
9 o'clock Eastern on Saturday nights.
Wow. Wow. See, you watch Extra Bulla, you get the 411 on the important shit. And that's actually exciting news for me because like 11 o'clock, because I'm a little bit old. And, once Matlock goes off the air, that's pretty much time for me to go to bed. So, it shows a little early. But that's all right. It's a great show. If you please like and subscribe to their show. I got their information down below in the description. So please hook them up, and if you're not already a fan. So guys and gal, we're gonna go around the horn here. I decided to usually on this show what we do is like anybody who's been on here for the first time, I kind of like to get your Marvel origin story. right? Like, I've been trying to get as many content creators on here that I've enjoyed to come on so that they can talk about things that they don't normally talk about on their shows. But I always also like to find out the road that they've taken to get to where they're at now. So, since Elle has her mic muted, we're going to go with her first. Because yeah, sleeping in class, huh? Yeah, you gotta stay after school, lady. But
I
it's
was
also
just trying not to make you hear my typing. That's all.
right. Chippy tappy, chippy tappy. Don't tell me that bullshit. All right,
I'm serious.
we're all friends here. I just get a little bit angry when I'm drinking, so I'm an angry drunk. That's why.
I'm a happy drunk.
That's
Y'all
why I
say
don't have
goodnight.
kids. You know, my oldest sister, she's a crier, and we're just, me and my middle sister were like, oh, you were just like, we have to do the disappointment. We're just like, so disappointed in you. See, you guys can't see, but I'm looking at the disappointment cam. So I have this camera that just shows disappointment in my face. And also Christopher Walken hand fan that I use because it gets hot as fucking here in the summertime. So, Elle Latham. Yes, you're looking like Joe Biden and I. Hopefully, you do not look like that in real life. Although I do know what you look like in real life, and you're very pretty. You're not old and senile, thank goodness. Not yet. Soon.
Eventually, we all will be.
Soon. Not like me. At least I'm drunk, so I got an excuse. Elle, tell me your story. What led you to the political matrix and political interests in general?
Well, I, like many, fell for the Obama lie, the big lie that Obama would bring hope and change to the world in 2008. I fell not once, but twice. And then I was like, well, I'm the fool at this point, and I should, figure out where I am on that spectrum, because it was just an eye-opening experience going through Libya and the Syria and then the Yemen thing, and then Julian Assange. That really opened my eyes, collateral murder and all of that. So I kind of became the opposite of what I was, and you could probably find residue of me liking Obama and shit. I tried to delete a lot of it just because I couldn't stand to look at some of the tweets that I made. And then at one point I was so stupid funny, like dumb funny, not funny, that I said, I'm following Obama. Oh no, but not in real life, just on Twitter or something. Like, it was the dumbest shit. And I just cringe at who I used to be. And then the gun control stuff. It was a whole big mess. So I got awakened. And then I also got awakened on certain subjects that are not allowed to be said about specifically, but it ends in 11. And so you can figure that out, I'm sure. I got awakened on that, and I started to really figure out what was going on around me, and I went ahead and fell for another dumbass, and it was Bernie Sanders, and I got fooled again. And it was so bad that I graduated from high school and had a Bernie 2016 sticker on my cap. That's how sad that was, because it was election day in LA for the primary, which went swimmingly, everyone. It was beautiful. And history will show that was one of the best and the least messed around with elections that we've ever had. So then, then the Trump thing happened. So then I started to get more involved in watching indie media with Corbett Report, Truth Stream Media, all those guys, Frank Analysis a little bit, and then Slow News Day a lot, and Jason Burmis. I'm just shouting out people now. And, Luke, everybody. And eventually I ended up in a tweet or a thread of Slow News Day or Steve Polkinen's, and I ran into this gentleman to my right, and that was Marcus. And it's your right too. I don't know why I'm. Anyway, I'm not good with directions, but Marcus led me to the political matrix, and I was like, "Hey, I have a podcast," because I had a podcast. So it started a podcast in 2013, and it was supposed to be funny, and now that's not a prerequisite anymore, and it's just basically political. But I'm trying to get it funnier. But it started out as funny, like with funny people and stuff from my community and improv and stuff, and in LA. And so then I was like trying to promote it in Steve's thread because he was like, everybody, all these indie people, like, promote your thing. And I was like, I have a podcast. I would love to have someone on it. And Marcus was like, I'll go on your podcast. And then, I eventually came on his broadcast, which was the Political Matrix, met these dudes and made a family basically. And we've been that way ever since. I don't know how long ago that was. So fucking long ago. It feels like a year ago, but it wasn't. But it was really cool to find people to accept me and my research, which is what I'm basically known for, is getting the facts, getting the unbiased information that we can look at and
You're a punisher.
Analyze.
You punish yourself for those facts, Elle.
I've noticed that too. Like when I watch your shows, that you were just like you're kind of like the nerd with the glasses with the microfiche, and you're like, well, actually, in 1974, there was like. No, I'm not saying you sound like that. I'm just saying that
you have glasses though. Got that right.
All right, yeah, because people with glasses are fucking hot. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot as fire, I'm gonna get with Chris next here.
Woo-hoo!
So, Mr. GQ over here in his shirt. That shirt. I have a shirt just like that, but I do not look nearly as sexy in it. I kind of look like I just chased some kids out of my yard when I wear that shirt. So in any shirt really, but. Chris, where did you come from? What set you down the path, and how did you end up with all these crazy kids?
What's going on, everybody? Warren, thanks for having us on. Elle, E, Marcus, what's going on? Basically, I was born into it. I remember my parents listening to like the radio station, and it would be all politics, and I didn't know what was going on, but it was just things you constantly heard. Reagan, Iran-Contra, drugs, all this stuff. So I'm dating myself right there. So that gives you an idea of how old I am. But really, perfect example of saying I was born into it. I got in trouble. I used to get in trouble all the time as a kid. I know you don't believe that, but I was a badass. So in order to go outside or play video games, my mother would tell me like I would have to read Paul Robeson's speech, write a book report about it, and then go outside. So
damn,
I was like 11 years old, reciting off the top of my head a Paul Robeson speech, not knowing who the hell Paul Robeson was and not understanding the magnitude of what he did. So it's pretty much where I get my like interest in this kind of stuff. One day I was watching Marcus. I don't know. I was on Twitter. I only got Twitter, by the way, because Jay-Z did his deal with Samsung, and the only way to get the album was to either have Facebook or Twitter. I had neither. So I had to actually get a Twitter account to get the Jay-Z album for free, which I didn't mind spending money for it. But they say you could get it for free. So I'm like, all right, cool. I made a Twitter account. I never used it, ever. Around the 2016 election, I started to, want to tweet at Joe and Mika because I used to put on Morning Joe in the morning so I could curse at the TV as I got ready for work,
Motherfucker, piece of shit, fuck you.
Correct. I'll be sitting there with the iron like, yo, you hearing this shit? Like, this is bullshit, So anyway, Um, Fast forward, I saw Marcus. I saw Marcus's show. Caught up in the like Bernie shit. So there was a lot of people who was supporting Bernie that I was interacting with. I saw Marcus and Emmanuel on the show with. I'm gonna say his name because fuck it. With
Oh Lord.
Oh no.
hey, I don't care. I
I
saw
know.
Marcus on a show with Emmanuel and Chris Richards. The eclectic radical.
Oh,
You know that guy?
Mr. Hostage video. Yeah, that guy that
Correct.
looks like Bigfoot got his own live stream. I'm sorry.
Correct. So I watched the video, right?
In my
And
defense,
I
Chris, he did know a lot about history. He's just
He was.
very
He
fucking
does.
shallow.
He is. He's very knowledgeable historically. He is. I'll give him
correct.
that.
So he wasn't wrong when he was citing history and all this other stuff, whatever. But Marcus had said something and it flew like right over their head. They didn't get it. So, like abroad, I jumped in Marcus's DM. No pause, no homo, no offense to no homos anywhere.
This show just
Like, I
got canceled. Good night, everybody. It was great run. It was like good 8 months. Thanks, everybody.
Look,
I'm sorry, please.
I'm from New York. We talk how we talk, But anyway, so I jumped in Marcus's DM and I was like, yo, at the 1 minute, 24-second mark, you said something. And next thing you know, Marcus and I were texting. And next thing you know, we're on the phone. And I was actually like cleaning the house, talking to him with his YouTube video on my TV. And he was like, yo, do you want to come on the show? I'm like, I'm not politically correct. I will say whatever I want to say. And he's like, yo, just come on the show. Like, it's been a year or some change later, me and Marcus still messing with each other.
Mhm.
So, it's a love story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think that's probably one of the reasons I love hanging out with y'all and watching your show, and when y'all have me on, it's just like I just feel that vibe. It's just like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's the way it should be. And there's too many people out there. Too many of these shows. They're just like so careful. We're just so careful. Oh, we shouldn't say that because that's truth. That's a little too much truth. And I don't think we're gonna get canceled. And I'm like, no, you gotta let the good times roll, man. You gotta let it flow, right? Emmanuel, we're gonna save Marcus for last because I want to find out how the fuck he got this thing started in the first place.
I was gonna say something real quick to interject with Chris. Me and
Please.
Chris both grew up in the streets also, so we're used to you just say whatever the hell you want to, and if somebody got a problem with you, they come at you. And so in this space, okay, so what? If we get a couple of bad tweets at us, or fuck it, whatever. But we came from the streets, so we don't really care as much.
I'm a loudmouth redneck, man. I'm on my third Twitter account, so I'm right there with you guys. You know what I mean? I'm like I burned through it like Sherman through Atlanta. So it's all good. I don't give a fuck neither. I'll make up some names.
What's funny is that the way that you speak, the way that you carry yourself, in yesteryear, people would gravitate towards you in this ultra sensitive climate that we're in. It's like, oh my God, he says certain things that I just can't, it's like R. Kelly. You can't admit that you listen to R. Kelly music anymore. You know what I'm saying? But me, I still step in the name of love. I can't help it. Like, that helped me with a lot of females playing his music. So, I
don't see nothing wrong.
I'm also a Gen X. I'm also a Gen Xer too, so the Gen Xers do get no fucks given there. It was like the Boomers got all the good stuff, and then the Gen X came along. Was like, can we have that too? And the Boomers were like, nah, no, no, shame on you, Gen X. Get your ass up there and work your ass off, bitch. So I'm sorry, Emmanuel. I want to hear your Marvel origin story. What brought you from there to here, and where was there?
Okay, I didn't really grow up knowing anything politically. I mean, my immediate family were all homophobic, undercover right wingers. They didn't they weren't particularly interested in thinking in any real revolutionary mindset, really. Let's see, I just I was a contrarian. I didn't really give a crap about political leanings or political information until what I would have to say 2016. Now, I got on Twitter in 2013 to, you know what, fuck it, I'll admit it. I just got on Twitter in the first place just to bang my girlfriend. I want to bang my girlfriend real bad. And I had no other way to reach her. So I was just like, okay, I'll just get on. And I was like Chris, I barely ever use. And I was like, you know what, I'll just fake it for a little while. And it just, so let me bang her. That's what I thought. But then we
You a
broke
hoe.
up.
You know what that you just a straight hoe. That's just like, wow, man. Everybody else, it's just like, it's just this solemn story, about this the triumph of the human spirit. And you come on here and talk about getting that ass. I mean, come on, man.
You want a political story? You got to go with Marcus or Elle or Chris.
I'm kidding. Don't listen to me. I look like somebody's hippie daddy. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna lie.
But you have some political leanings, right? Because I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be rolling with this crew, right? So I mean, yes. So you went from the ass.
I voted for Obama once. I didn't vote for Obama twice, so that's when it really started. I just started, looking into information and looking into anybody who would speak out against Obama at that point, because he was a great black hope and nobody could touch him and he was untouchable. And then I got into Flint, and then, you had all of those protests with the Black Lives, and in 2016 rolled around and I voted for Bernie once. Didn't vote for. I'm always a one and done type of person. Like once they do it once, I'm done. So I would say maybe a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, I was on with another guy. I was on with this guy named Niall. And I think Marcus saw what I did. And he asked, did you want to team up with me and Chris Richards? So then we tried.
Yes. Hold on. Sorry, yeah, we got to get on Marcus for that one too, because that was another one.
Marcus, no, you brought up Niall. Oh god.
So we tried to make that work, and that didn't. It's just and people don't know this, like. The streamer podcasting drama, beef, stuff like that. It's real. It happens. It's big. There's a lot of drama that goes along in the background. So then Chris comes in, and I don't know. It just started working. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it just started working. The three of us, and I cringe at the first.
You could say I was crazy, and I sounded like I was nuts.
No, I was like, okay, like the first 4 or 5, maybe the first 6 months, right? It just kind of seemed like we couldn't figure out. It just kind of seemed like I couldn't find my footing, and then I think like maybe 4 or 5, 5 or 6 months, and we figured it out. And I remember when it was like the three of us, and there were only like 5 people, and nobody was in the chat, and then it evolved beyond like this whole team that Marcus rounded up, and then Elle came on, and we've just been trying to make it work ever since. And now we got like the chat just moves like water. Everybody knows who we are, and I've learned a lot. I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything the teams. We don't agree on everything simultaneously, but our differing opinions actually help move the conversation along. And I'm always grateful to learn something. I may not agree with it, but at least I know, right? Or at least I understand, or at least I'm aware of something that I didn't know before. And as long as I keep an open mind about stuff like that, our team works.
Well, and that's the thing. Oh yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
Can I just jump in on? I just want to say about E. he touched on something. He said we don't always agree, which is true. We don't, right? Which is fine. But he wasn't so closed-minded to say like, "Oh, I disagree, so I can't mess with them." He
Right.
just said, "Look, I disagree. I don't think like you, but it's okay. I didn't think like him, but we stayed with it." Chris Richards, the reason why he wasn't part of it was because as soon as Marcus added me to the chat, I shared an article. I literally put a link to an article and I said, "Hey guys, you should read this. This is interesting." It was something about COVID early on. He
Yeah.
said, "Oh, this is right wing. I'm sorry, I have to leave." Ask Marcus. In our conversations, I wanted to flame that dude so bad, and I don't know anybody, and I don't give any fucks. So,
Yeah.
but on because of Marcus, I
I
just was
tried
like,
to mediate it too, and I
And he
mean,
does. Marcus desperately tries to play the peacemaker and
I
keep the
just told,
peace. And
and I told Chris Richards, I said, you don't have to agree with it. Just read it, just listen to it, just hear it out, and then when we come on the show, we can all talk about it from our different perspectives, how we see it. And he just even refused to entertain it at all. He just, yeah. And what you see the same thing from him on Twitter. Anything that's against his perspective, he automatically just shuts it down. He doesn't even want to look into it. So
Yeah, he blocked two of my accounts because of that very reason, right? It's like you talk about like there's one thing like you can have disagreements, right? Like I don't agree with what you're saying, but let me hear you out, and maybe you can change my mind. There's that kind of thing. But then there's people that just like no, I am totally 100% right. I've studied this. I was in the Library of Congress reading all this shit, and like, well, all right, whatever, but you got to have an open mind, especially nowadays, because everything changes. We get so snowed under by like shit that the mainstream media is putting out there. It is so much propaganda. Oh my god, there's so much propaganda. So and folks,
I agree.
folks.
I'm with Elle. Like, I know there's a lot of things I've said and done on Twitter in the past that if we ever became big enough, someone could easily just crawl back and say, well, Emmanuel thought this, and this, and that was all wrong. And I'm just like, I didn't know what I didn't know, and now I know I can do better. That's what, well, I'm paraphrasing off of my Angelou. Now that I know better, I could do better.
Right.
So,
and you're coming from a good place though. It's like you're not trying to be like, I'm right, even though in my heart of hearts I know I'm probably wrong, but I'm not going to admit it. You're not like that. You're like, it seems to me you're just like, okay, well, maybe if I get a new set of facts or something like that, I might change my mind, or be like, well, I'm not really too kosher with those facts that you're giving me, But it's an honest exchange of ideas, and you're trying to find a place of truth. Where some people are just like, oh, I am the truth, and if you don't like it, insta block. So
right. So I've always respected the fact that Marcus reaches out to like various people. He's reached out to like dozens of people, and I know at least
shit,
good
more than
portion of them that
dozens.
don't agree with nothing Marcus says. Like
more than dozens.
Right. I was like, he reaches out to a bunch of people, like just a small number. So
and speaking of Marcus, the kingpin here, who's a big Cincinnati Bengals fan, I'm sure. After what? Wait a minute, I got what?
I'm a fan of what happened to Eli Apple.
Oh man, Eli Crapple.
Look, they are. Look. Somebody posted the other day about Eli Apple. They said, "Do you care about mental health? Like, leave Eli Apple."
Look, I'm a Saints fan. We got rid of that motherfucker for a reason, right? Okay, we didn't make the playoffs.
I was gonna say he was on the Giants. Like, he's from New Jersey, I believe. He was on the Giants, so they're killing him in New York and New Jersey.
Oh, Plaxico has been brutal.
The only reason the Saints got him because he had a heartbeat and they needed a corner. So I mean, if that was it, and then they said, okay, bye bye. But all right, I'm all jokes aside for the moment, Marcus. I only said that because you have the KC hat on. So
And by the way, I'm gonna keep switching hats all night just for the fun of it.
okay. Now, if I was on mushrooms, I'd probably take offense to that because I'd be like, "Whoa, what's going on, man? What's Marcus? Marcus is like a Wicca. He's like one of those wizards, man. Should have the hats with the stars and moon on it." So the the political matrix is that your baby, Marcus? And if so, how did you get to that point?
Yes, it is. It is my baby. I probably, honestly, of anybody in independent media who is say under 50, I probably have the probably longest origin story. Because I see a lot of these people and they're like, oh, well, I got into politics in 2016 and da 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 da. Well, me, I remember being a kid and my family was big into Michael Dukakis. And so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I remember that whole election, and I remember following politics all the way through then. And before I was really into politics, I was basically a history nerd. I used to literally I've read through a whole entire volume of Encyclopedia Britannica, like A through Z, every page. And so through just gathering knowledge, this is back before most kids were able to have an internet, and check that out. So I absorbed just a ton of history and information, and I was always studying. And like Chris was talking about, onto the Iran Contra stuff and the Reagan years, and then all the stuff that was going on with Ross Perot those days. I remember all that. I was a fan of Ross Perot, actually. I remember when what was the Green Party guy that Bernie's always so scared to be like? Ralph Nader.
Oh, Ralph Nader, yeah.
Nader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nader came to my college. Nader came to my college in 1999 and was like, yo, if y'all elect George Bush, this shit gonna be tough. And I was like,
well, I'm talking about Nader back when Nader was talking about seatbelts in cars.
correct. Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I've known about Nader, Bernie, all these people for quite a while. What was it? My freshman year in high school, when a lot of the Bosnia-Kosovo stuff was going on, my school was a sister city to Sarajevo in Kansas City. And so we had a lot of ethnic Albanian and Bosnian refugee students there. And so that's part of what really piqued my interest. Also, coming from a partial military family, I did a lot of traveling to a lot of different places. And hearing some of these accounts and stuff like that, it put me on more of a patriotic, democratic kind of, Second Amendment type lane. So I was more in the lane of like an Ed Schultz.
Okay.
But I realized that I was not going to have a candidate that was really going to fit my request and what I really wanted. So I would always kind of compromise a little bit to the Democrats. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but he's kind of close. And so fast forward a little bit. Once I joined the military, I went into the military in 98, 99. One of the first places I went was Bosnia and Kosovo, and I was stationed in Sicily in Italy. And so spending a couple of years in Europe, started seeing the difference in politics in Europe and seeing the United States looking in instead of being the inside looking out. You start seeing the United States very, very differently. And then 9/11 hits, and some of my involvement in seeing some of that stuff firsthand drastically changed my viewpoint on a lot of things. And so, I supported Obama, and I'll just be honest and put it out there. A lot of it had to do with the skin color, yes. historic thing to have a first black president. So like, I gotta root for him for this. I can't be the guy who goes against the first black president as a black guy. So
I understand that.
I supported him, and then because at that time I was living in Jacksonville, Florida, and I had a lot of Republicans. Actually, well, let me skip back a little bit. Also, I was big involvement in the Puerto Rico statehood act. Actually, let me go ahead and switch that hat. We'll put that hat on now. So,
damn visuals. What's it? You weren't lying. Yeah. Okay.
I told you I got a bunch of hats.
I was gonna do it.
So having a close tie to the island, family and stuff like that. I was always passionate with those types of issues also, because I'm a mutt, Black, Native, Latino, all this stuff all mixed into one person. And so I've always fought for indigenous rights, so-called African American rights, Latino rights. All those things have always been kind of centered for me. And a lot of the stuff that was going on as far as the statehood issues, and I started noticing more and more how the United States treated Puerto Rico. And so that used to like really piss me off. And I would see the Democrats weren't any better. The Democrats were just as bad as the fucking Republicans were. And so now fast forward up to Obama. When living in Jacksonville is in the African American community or minority communities, heavy Democratic, even though they were pessimistic about the Democrats. It's not like out here where I am. You got fucking Nancy Pelosi Democrats basically everywhere who think that they're not. At least they're like, well, we're just voting for the Democrats because the fucking Republicans are far worse. And so they're in no disillusion that the Democrats suck. I was around so many like hardcore right wingers who took such a racist kind of attack against Obama. They couldn't criticize his drone strikes and his fucking deporter in chief. They always turned it into a racial issue. So it forced me into this weird corner of fucking defending Obama all the time and not having enough time to really pay attention to as much of the negative shit that he was doing. And so reluctantly, because I was in Florida in a swing state, I voted for him a second time around. And I'll admit this, please don't start throwing the tomatoes at me. My team and people in the audience, I did vote for Hillary the first time. Well,
this has been a great show. Thanks everybody for coming out. I didn't know it was going to turn into some bullshit. So please.
But this I mean, when it gets to this evolution of like how some people sum me up, I mean, I was blue as blue can be. I used to be part of Smoke Free KC to get smoking out of buildings in KC. I used to like organize against some of the stuff the power company was doing as far as like hiking money onto people's bills. I was part of Occupy Jacksonville, the Jacksonville branch of the Occupy Wall Street. I even was part of the on-ground Black Lives Matter protests before it turned into whatever the fuck it is now. Way before all this stuff. And as I've just gotten further along, fucking Obama is just the second term. It was like fuck, gotta vote for this piece of shit. Then it was like, oh, gotta vote for this piece of shit, fucking Hillary.
The lesser of two evils. It's the lesser of two evils.
I was trapped in that lesser of two evils bubble. And then once I got out here to California, I was like, okay, Bernie, we'll give him a shot. Because I supported Bernie against Hillary. So I wasn't one of those I'm with her. I remember all the racist shit she did and the fucking Margaret Sanger stuff and that she's a Goldwater girl. I know about her. I mean, NAFTA, all that shit. So it wasn't like going in like one of these people who were supporting her. But Bernie, I was always listening to Bernie on fucking like Tom Hartman back in the day. I don't know who's familiar with Tom Hartman out there, but while I drove armored truck, I used to listen to Tom Hartman all day long, and I would listen to all the shit. And I'd have to fucking listen to Rush Limbaugh, depending on who I was riding with. What was the other shit? Can't remember his name, but I had to listen through, all Bill Bennett, and I listened to Stephanie Miller.
Marcus, Limbaugh's show was more entertaining than all of the rest of the shows, even though I didn't agree with anything that he said.
I listened to all of it. Rachel Maddow, when she was on radio, before she was on MSNBC.
Correct. Yeah. I used to listen to a lot of radio being in the truck, too, because I spent a lot of time on the road in the truck. Limbaugh used to be entertaining, even though I really wanted to just put a pencil through his eye. He still was.
I wanted to put more than a pencil through his eye. I mean,
he
admitted I wanted to put lead through his eye, but not pencils.
I think he admitted it was an act.
Yeah, he did. He admitted as much. He said, "I'm just an entertainer." This is. I'm,
like Maddow, they had to classify Maddow the same way, that she was just technically an entertainer. And
the secret's out of the bag now. Pretty much all of those commentators that you see on MSNBC, the Joy Reids, all of them, they all fit into that same boat. They're all fucking entertainers for the most part. And the shitty part about it is a lot of them know that they're willingly lying to you and deceiving their viewers, but they don't let the viewers in on it. So, I mean, I used to like Chris said, I'd rage watch. I mean, the whole MSNBC fucking lineup. I watched the Chris Hayes, I watched the Lawrence O'Donnell, all of these fucking shitheads. I used to even DVR it so I can come home and be pissed off at night.
Olbermann, Olbermann got a lot of love because all of us used to watch Sports Center. So when we got a little bit older and we started watching MSNBC, we gave Olbermann a chance because we remember him and Craig Kilborn on Sports Center in the mornings, right? And they were funny as shit, and they did really good work on ESPN. But Olbermann, he was really good on the Iraq War.
Yeah.
After that, he just, as you would say, Marcus, he's just a super shit.
I'm gonna show people this whole, because there's some people now who just, you're a fucking right winger. Somebody's called me literally actually Chris Richards called me a proud boy. So, yes, me, I'm a proud boy. I've also been called a Nazi also. And so
you look like a Nazi.
This is a guy who literally used to listen to all of these guys, the Brian Williams. I used to listen to Jank on MSNBC. And then followed it to TYT. I used to listen to TYT when they first started, when they were virtually the only political commentary.
Oh God,
Mark. It was honestly more shock radio. I mean, a lot.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. It was just they weren't trying to be political, really.
Would you screw Britney Spears? That's more like that they were. I mean, it was a little bit of politics
at that time
with cheap ass Howard Stern.
Yeah. Although before Anna came along, though, when he was doing it by himself, though, he was just he was just always just. He was like Jimmy Dore was back in the day, just flaming mad at the establishment and stuff like that. That's what turned me on to Sink back in the days when he was in that little closet studio looking thing. Looked like he was up in his closet growing weed, and
It was him and J.R. Jackson, and I used to watch it with the old school TYT.
Yeah,
and then I watched them literally devolve over time because people are thinking TYT is how it is now, is how it used to be.
Right.
It did not used to be like it is. And when they made that big, huge turn was when the Justice Democrats came around. That's the biggest turn that they made. I mean, they had other turns before that, but they weren't always as fucking horrible as they are now. The same with a Sam Seeger. He wasn't always this fucking bad either.
Nope.
These guys went further and further and further to fucking shit.
I believe the money helped. The money.
Oh, of course, the money helped.
The money helped.
Since we're mentioning people that all of us have listened to and like, Elle, what are your thoughts on Abby Martin and her brother and Norton and the rest of them? Those guys did such good work.
They're making the turn too. They're all making the turn.
COVID broke a lot of fucking brains.
COVID broke a lot.
I just don't see this. I don't get the cognitive dissonance that they have, that they like wouldn't want for the other people on the other side of this whatever spectrum they're on. But
I
they
can tell-
they would point it out, but they don't point it out with themselves and don't notice that they're doing the same thing.
Well, Elle,
they're-
come on. We know
you
what
know.
it is. We know what it is. Once this COVID shit came around and they start really cracking heads, these people are about money first and foremost. So
Well,
what they're gonna do? They're
Not all
gonna
of them
spin
are
the
making
narrative.
as much money, but they're still saying. the
But
stupid shit.
still, they do this for their living. The difference between these 4 people here, and well, I'll say 5, Mr. Uncle Warren here, all of us here don't do anything for none. Like I've told people, I've been doing, my own channels and stuff for over 3 years now. I have never asked for a dime on camera. So you can say I'm wrong. You can say you don't agree with me, but we're not here doing this for money. We're not grifting anybody. And so I've watched these people continuously fold themselves up in pretzels and twist narratives to go fucking against themselves because it's about the money. It's clear. And the hilarious thing to me is watching how many people that are still hooked into these people, and they can't pull themselves away from it. Like I literally watched let's see, I just got into it recently with Pat the Burner and his co-hosts. And I saw you in the chat, so you know which episode.
Right, and me and
talking
Steve
about.
were going over like his work. I remember when he was actually the living embodiment of Peter Douche for a while. Then he wrote the book and everything.
This knucklehead is literally trying to talk about how mask mandates are what we need to have mandatory mask mandates. Like it makes a fucking difference. The science, and he talks about, and they always throw in the science. The science tells you that it doesn't do shit. It can reduce, but it's still not. It can reduce what 0.2% of something that's less than point. When you get down to these infantile numbers, it's ridiculous. But these people, they've turned into such fucking culture warriors on this shit, and this is all it is. It's just a new culture war. And
Look,
from watching
Marcus,
these
real
people,
quick.
I've went to the point of like I'm almost a nonpartisan completely. I just look at both parties and like, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're an idiot for following them. You're an idiot for following them. And you want to play this racist? Like some of them say, oh well, the right wingers are racist or the truckers are racist. I'm like, most of these politicians are fucking racist.
Yeah.
Marcus, you know what? You know what though? I will say people who on the so-called right wing, and we just gonna keep it funky here, bro.
That's
That's
strong.
what we do. Sorry for people on the right will actually debate with you. They'll talk to you. They'll reply back. They'll go back and forth with you. They don't have to agree with you, but they'll keep coming at you, right? With the things that they feel are correct. Even though they might be wrong about a lot of it, they will at least entertain the dialogue. People like this Chris Richards and a lot of these so-called liberals and leftists these days, the moment that you steer from their ideology, they'll
Or
either
ask the
block
wrong
you.
question or
Correct, E. They'll either block you or start screenshotting you without actually tagging you, and they'll put you in their little groups, and it's just real soft.
And mass
soft
report
shit.
you.
Correct. They're like
Let's say it, they're like bitches.
correct. I was gonna say they soft.
Hey,
like
watch
baby
your
shit.
mouth, okay? This is a family show, all right? No, it's a Manson family, but still family show. But no, well, but now when we gotta remember though, when November comes and the Republicans take over, they're gonna be a bunch of assholes too. Because they're gonna be hard to talk to because they're like, oh well, we're in charge now. We ain't gotta listen to us. The only reason I think a lot of the reason they're listening to us right now is because they're not in charge. They can't. They're not. They're not in charge of anything. So they feel like they need some sort of kind of allies to deal with these shit libs, right? But once the shit libs are gone, then they're going to be the assholes. I'm not saying all of them.
This is
but
what I'll give Republicans. Republicans are, at least strategy-wise, far smarter than Democrats. They
Well,
know
they're
how.
more- yeah.
Okay, we're out of power. We'll play the game. We'll listen to you, even though we're only gonna, like, for instance, let one celebrity come out that says one thing they agree with. They will ignore all the other shit that celebrity says, which goes against them, and they'll prop that up. Whereas Democrats, they had somebody like a Joe Rogan, which supports like 90% of the same shit they do. He says one thing they don't like, cancel his ass.
Gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. Purged him.
Whereas Republicans will act like I didn't hear him just say Medicare for all.
Hey,
I didn't
yeah,
hear
Yeah,
that.
they'll mute him. They won't block him.
remember,
You know, they'll mute him.
Correct. Hey, E and Marcus, remember they told us that he's racist, so you know we shouldn't have any objective viewpoints on the matter. We're just supposed to say he's racist, and we're just supposed to hate him. But I'm glad you mentioned Rogan because actually today, I saw a clip on Twitter. He's interviewing somebody who is like pro the Corona narrative, right? And
Okay.
he's talking to the guy, and he said to the guy, "Well, would you debate somebody who has an opposing viewpoint?" The person on his show was like, "I'm not debating science. It's settled." And they were talking about climate change. And Rogan was like, "Well, I mean, we can set specific parameters. We can keep the debate within, you know, these walls, etc., etc." And the guy was like, "No, I can't debate science. If you want to debate policy, we can." And I'm just like, that in itself encapsulates who the fuck Democratic voters are, liberals, non-Republicans, whatever. It's hard to tag people with labels these days because not everything
Chris,
fits.
I'm gonna pretend you're that person and answer this question: is medicine science? Yes or no? So, do doctors not tell you to go get a second opinion if you don't agree?
Yeah, they do.
Damn lawyer, where the fuck that come from? Jesus, he was like Matlock. Speaking of Matlock, damn, it comes full circle. Hey, before we go any further, I just want to shout out some more folks that have showed up tonight and showing some love for us. Appreciate it. Yona is here. Choosy!
Yo!
Choosy, I ain't
what's
saying that
up?
whole last name of yours. Jesus Christ, man. That's
Choosy
a fucking...
Heretic Carnation Revolution.
Jesus Christ, man. CHCCRN, all right? Fuck that. Lucky Burrito. MOUSE. Yona's here. Kelly's here. I know Misha's here. Thanks for showing up. I know I saw Chris Legion in the house. My boy Yeti, the Breadlines. Actually, if y'all could like, share, and subscribe. The Breadlines is his brand new channel for Yeti. Good friend of ours, and you know, he's doing good things too. He's a Canadian. You know, I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
in just a
we need
second,
to talk to a Canadian. So, you know, hey, hit me up on Twitter. We would love to have a Canadian come talk.
I think that's everybody. Propaganda Live. I tell you, we were joking in the chat that I'm propaganda from the future, and I've come back in time to fuck with him and you know, tell him to quit doing shit and like invest in some stuff. Noli D. Noli D, my
Can I
future
ask you
ex-wife.
guys a question?
Sure.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because you four would know better than me. And I keep seeing it in the chat. Who is this Hinkle person?
Oh, Jackson Hinkle.
Jackson Hinkle.
Jackson Hinkle, pretty boy. He looks like Robin from Batman and Robin. We're carrying signs now. That's a cool name.
Yeah, we love
he does, right?
Shout out to Signs. Signs has been like one of my day ones. Like when I first started out, like by myself doing little Signs has literally been one of the people who's followed me for like 3 years. And from when I started my channel, Signs, yeah, he's been there.
Signs always been with us.
He was always there.
Oh, ICU's here too. Yeah, we got kind of like a little crossover episode too. Some of your crews, some of my crews up in here. I love it, man. And some of my crew is.
Our people are loyal.
I know, right? It's like a country family. We're getting together and fucking, man. It's great. Right, you know, except for the fucking. The fucking's probably not good.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You might have some flipper
we'll leave
babies.
that to E and L.
I want no flipper babies up in here. We'll, you know, I mean, sometimes you need that country loving, and you know, it might be a distant cousin, and that's okay. Atries, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Atries, what's up, man?
And okay, yeah, I think I caught up with every Lucky Burrito. Steve Cutler live.
Hey.
Oh, what's up, Steve?
Steve in the
Slow
house.
Tuesday.
If I missed anybody, I'm gonna catch you at the end, so don't worry, because that's one of my things I do on here. I want to make sure I shout out everybody that showed love for the show. I want to show love to you because I appreciate you. We got 17 people. Watch out. You talking about back in the day starting a thing. I remember starting this thing back in I think it was around the late spring of last year, and it was just like me and a couple of people that felt sorry for me, and I appreciate them, and it kind of grew a little bit, and that's what we do, get you guys on and help everybody grow, because we got to get we got to get these alternative voices out there that to go against what the mainstream media is pushing. I forgot, bullshit.
Uncle Warren, I got to put this out here real quick because they brought up Nile. If you guys want to see some funny shit, DM me. One of the last episode I was on with Nile. Nile, it got to the point of always criticizing Nico House and just throwing rocks at him out of nowhere. And so I would kind of be like, yo, we're not talking about that, so I didn't really care. And then after a while, I was like, fuck this. You're not going to keep on fucking blasting this dude and he can't defend himself. So we had a nice little fucking blow up on that last show. So you guys want to see some sparks, definitely like not scripted, where two co-hosts go at each other. Yeah, go ahead and check out that one.
I tell you what though, like I say, people come on here and they could say stuff they don't normally say on their own shows, which is fine. So yeah, if you want to talk shit about anybody on the show, go for it, man.
I'm kicking Hornet's Nest tonight. I'm got a little liquor in me.
Fuck these bitches.
Honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and say
that's the starting.
You asked
Chris for the invite though. We appreciate
Chris, you asked about Jackson. This is what I'll say about Jackson.
I'm gonna get a beer.
Alrighty.
I'm still here.
Jackson is one of those guys who he will, if the right pressure is put on him, he will adjust, and he will. It's like one of those guys who's really good at reading a room and realize, oh, wait a minute, they don't really like that message. Let me start altering it. And so what he's been doing is he's been going after the shit libs, like TYT, the Sam Cedars, and he just does a lot of commentary. I mean, in all honesty, I don't want to knock anybody like that. It's easy to just do commentary. It's hard to actually do content. It's hard to, like, for instance, I got a show this weekend, which I'm doing, where I'm going to have Glory Jones, Nico House, Sabby Sabs, and Dontel Hines from Unapologetic. And we're doing like kind of a Black History kind of thing. I'm working on 3 videos that I'm going to drop before that.
Elle and Emmanuel, we got to do our own thing. Fuck him.
I'm gonna do
content like a beast.
These like 3 videos I'm doing are like less than 10 minutes a piece. So basically altogether about 30 minutes of content. This shit takes literally days to put this shit together when you have a job, when you're not able to fucking sit online all day. That's the reason why I'm like, people who just get on and do commentary when your job is doing this, you should have way more fucking content. You should have videos out the ass. It shouldn't just be like hop on and, oh, Emma Vigeland said this. She's dumb because of this. I mean, that's fucking easy. You gotta step
it's tabloid. That's like some tabloid shit right there.
I mean, it's just easy. Anybody can do that, and if you got a fucking big enough name, and if you run for office, just like Jen Perlman out there, it helps you out. I told you I'm kicking.
This Jim Perlman right here.
What? He does that. That's just
Christopher Walken looking ass. No, have you ever?
Do you know she reached out to me when she was first starting her campaign? I was one of the people who advised her on people she should go and talk to.
Oh, nice.
Because he knows a lot of people.
I know a lot of people, but a lot of people will pretend like they have no clue who I am. Because I'm that guy you bring to the party. You're like, fuck, not him. Shit,
Marcus,
go around the corner.
It's because you look like drunk Will Smith from Hancock. That's what it is. Everybody loves Hancock. Everybody loves that motherfucker. You know what I mean? He's flying around and shit all drunk as hell.
Let me have some fucking superpowers and see what the fuck happens.
You get drunk. I got drunk superpowers. I have the power of forgetting a whole bunch of shit.
I will guarantee you, if I was a drunk superhero, one thing that's definitely number one on my list is I am going to fly into the White House and pee on Biden's desk while he's there. I'm gonna aim for his coffee cup.
Hey,
while he's drinking.
Hey, Will Smith just flew in the White House and peed on the desk. Fucking Skeletor ass crypt keeper looking motherfucker.
Speaking of that, did you see the Poltergeist deep fake of him?
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
He
They need to just recast the movie with his creepy ass in there.
Well,
no, they can't, because then he might really start trying to touch the kids.
He's like one of them skeletons that came out of the original Poltergeist swimming pool. You remember that first movie? Those skeletons that were in that first movie, those are real skeletons, by the way.
That shit gave me nightmares.
I did not know that till I became an adult, because I watched that shit when I was a kid. Like, oh, that's creepy. Then later, I'm like, oh fuck, damn, there's some real ass people. They were dead up in there. The fuck.
And then you find out like all the people who like fucking died on the cast of that movie.
Yeah.
That's some fucking creepy shit.
That one gave me nightmares. That one right there.
Craig T. Nelson's still alive though. Coach is still alive. Coach, he's
probably the one. He was probably the one who was with the Ouija boards. You know, say, hey, well, take her, not me.
Coach with a Ouija board. You know, my dad looked like Coach. We'd go places and they go, hey, look, it's that guy from Coach. And I'm like, the fuck? Oh, shit, he looks just like Craig T. Nelson up in here. We've been, Elle's been over there, like, in the chat, like, she's trying to be all sneaky and shady, so I'm going to put her. Oh, now, Elle, I want to talk about your comedy background.
That's Elle all the time.
Yeah,
Elle is
so
a funny
good.
lady. She's awesome.
And then every now and then, Elle is gonna say some savage ass shit just out of nowhere to catch you off guard.
And it just comes from nowhere, like it just zings like right fast.
I have to host a show. So I have to host a show, so that means I have to talk a lot. But when I'm like if I'm a guest on a show, like especially if I'm up in a bunch of people, I'll stay quiet until I find my spot, and then I'll just say some savage shit, and then I'll kind of sneak back. But the kind of like a hit and run type thing. Elle, let's talk about your comedy background. We were talking off before we went live.
I was today years old when I found out that you did improv. That you graduated from the School of Improv. I did not know that.
Oh yes, I graduated and everything. I have a fucking certificate that I can show people. So I don't know where the fuck it is, but it's somewhere. But yeah, I graduated from a now defunct theater that was Me Too'd out of existence called IO West, or Improv Olympic West on Hollywood Boulevard.
I remember that.
Which is now a permanent fixture where anyone can just stop by and pee on the side of the facade. So there's that. And that was a really good place to learn to work with other people and to improvise, of course, which I learned to do. Well, I went to acting class in Atlanta. Yes. In Atlanta, where I grew up, or Metro Atlanta. I would travel to Atlanta, and I would engage in a very, very well-known theater that is a Tony-winning theater, regional theater, called the Alliance, which I'm sure everyone knows here. The Alliance Theater in Atlanta, near the Atlanta Symphony or whatever. And I went there, studied there first, and then I studied at the Pro Actors Studio, but I wasn't a pro yet. But I was on my way. I first studied acting in high school in Intro to Theater. So I studied at the Pro Actors Studio, won a DVD that I've never opened of Batman Forever as a prize. I had seen it already. What do I need to watch it again for? I saw
Collector.
like
Hell,
everyone
you
else.
shouldn't say that out loud. Not bad.
No, I won it as a prize for getting something right in trivia, in movie trivia. So that was where I had gotten my first real laugh. Well, I got a laugh in the Bye Bye Birdie production that we did in high school. But in my senior year, which is when they decided to have a drama club, which was after the play, which was ironic because actually it was junior year that I did the play, and then I joined the drama club the next year and couldn't even do the play because I had to graduate. So they had drama club that I was technically in, but I didn't even get to do pictures for it. So no one will know unless they buy my story. But anyway, I digress. I did the play. I got a laugh for the first time in that play as a funny line that was like a one-liner because my character was just in the chorus, the teen chorus. And then they kind of pushed two characters together for me so that I could have both their lines, but also be in the teen chorus, which was surprising because at first they had cast me as Train Man, no joke, and I had one line which was all aboard, which I killed in the audition. But I had originally tried out for a singing role, so I was like, I don't know if I should think that this is an insult or what. But then they eventually cast me as this character in the teen chorus. So fast forward to Pro Actor Studio, where I did like a scene from Seinfeld, and I got a bunch of laughs, and I was like, oh my gosh. And people were like, hey, you should do comedy. And I was like, well, yeah, I should. And that's when I became a comedian. So I incorporated improv in my comedy. So I would eventually go to improv after that experience and eventually meet Robin Williams himself, the improv comic of all time.
Nice.
And got to tell him
Nice.
how much he inspired me in 2013 before, unfortunately, he passed. And winter of 2013, sorry. And before that, I had gone through a couple of levels of improv. You have to pay for these things. They're not free. So
Yeah.
I ended up working for them and doing like like cleaning poppers and stuff for the popcorn at the bar, doing menial tasks. And then I got burnt doing something with the popper once, which was funny because I had worked at a movie theater in Atlanta for 5 years. Well, 4 years plus. Well, it was 5 years altogether because it was Alhambra as well in California. So I transferred at that job. But I had worked mostly in Atlanta 4 or so years and some change in concession where I would clean the popper. Well, I would get a dude to clean the popper for me, and then I would clean everything else. And then, I never had any trouble getting burnt until I moved to Atlanta. Moved to California. But anyway, getting back into it, the improv class, I met certain people who ended up being famous, like Echo Kellum and the dude from the Grimm series, and we worked together. And I met Bill Burr once, which was cool because he was the boyfriend of the girlfriend who was in my class, level 1, who eventually ended up marrying him. So that was really cool. But I met a whole lot of cool people, got on Facebook, got the Super Awkward Funcast thing together, and that was all based on my improv experience. I'm sorry if I'm going over, but I didn't really talk a lot.
Oh no, I got some questions after this. Keep talking.
Well, I have more. I
Sorry.
have more questions.
This is your show, Elle. This
So
is
many
your show.
questions.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't want to go on too long. But anyway, I did a lot of improv. I graduated it eventually after some issues with money, and I felt like, yay, I did something. But then this fucking woman in charge of everything threw everybody under the bus and killed her own theater because of the Me Too situation with the director who I had a relationship in terms of like putting on shows at the theater. I had dealt with him, and he was apparently doing the whole casting couch thing. So that was awkward. Never with me. Never tried anything with me, thankfully. I'm not really.
You sure? Because you mentioned the getting burned, the guy, some butter, cleaning your popper. I'm just wondering what's going on here.
What are you even
cleaning the popper. I didn't know what that
Talking about
was.
Actual popcorn popper,
Oh,
which
I
they
thought
got
it was.
rid of.
Oh, I thought that
eventually.
was a euphemism they used in California.
Yeah, I thought he was like talking about some like kinky sex or something like.
Hey,
later
that's
the
what it sounds like to
popper.
me.
No,
know.
I've never had sex. There's a fucking
It's
You've never
always
had-
the one.
never.
when I'm-
never,
It's always the
never.
ones who have a hard time meeting and dealing with women. Those are the ones you got to worry about. They be all women are always worried about like the guy who seems like he gets too many women. They're few and far between.
They don't think
Once you
that
go
about
to
me.
your-
Think of that motherfucker ain't getting no pussy. I'll give him some pity pussy. Here you go. Enjoy it. Probably you for a long while before you get some more. I want some pity pussy. Anyway, sorry, I've been drinking.
I love improv,
No,
and I use it
but
in
it's
daily
always
life.
it's
I was
always
telling you
those.
that.
It's always it would always be those kind of guys who would be like, yeah, come to my couch, like come to my office, and
Yeah,
let's see what we can
I'm
do.
sure he
for
was
you.
doing that.
I had a casting park bench because I couldn't afford like a couch to bring people over. But I said, come to the park. I'm there. I got a camera. But no, you gotta do it on a budget, man. But I dig where you're coming from with the improv, because I did when I was out in LA. I tried doing stand up with like written material, so I couldn't stand it. It just wasn't for me.
I did it too in the very beginning, and got a bringer show. You know, one of those. Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah, you get like a
From
whole.
this person in the audience at the improv. It was ironically the improv that
I was at
did a set with jokes that I got a thing after that went horribly awry because I did it improvisational.
I did
they
a
didn't
bringer.
expect that. They expected jokes.
I did a bringer show at the Laugh Factory too. Yeah, and for those not in the know, a bringer show is they give you a bunch of tickets and they're like, bring all your friends, and so and usually it's like what we did, the Laugh Factory. This is the same place where Kramer. He did the famous N-word thing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like that stage was still hot from that bullshit. So I did my shit, my little bullshit, and the thing was, it's like it's almost like kind of like an open mic kind of thing. You get up there for a few minutes, you do your thing, and then you go see the boss, right? You go see the club manager, and he tells you one of two things. He says you're either gonna come back. Come back next week, or they'll say come back in a month. If they say come back next week, you did good. If they say come back next month, you gotta work on your shit. And I never came back because I said fuck it, because it just
They
wasn't
never
like
say anything to you. You're fucked. That's what happened.
right. They actually said I actually sat at a booth and talked to some person. I'm assuming this was like one of the managers or whatever. So, but it just didn't feel. I always felt better just like playing off of other people. You know what I mean? Like with this crew here, everybody's like in a, it's got a great comedy vibe, for tonight. And, you guys are funny anyway, but tonight, it's a little bit different because it's like, you're not doing your thing, you're doing my thing, and we're all just being silly, and I'm drunk.
Tonight.
And
I'm
drunk.
trying to be drunk. I'm trying to catch up.
I hope you make it. I hope you make it, Marcus. I want you to be inebriated.
I actually got kicked out of a talent show in middle school because my comedy routine was a little it was inappropriate for school, as I was told. It was
I gotta hear this.
It was Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson's parents weren't home. And so Michael Jackson was going to masturbate, and I used Michael Jackson songs like, dirty.
Look at Chris, that judgmental ass face. No, my poor innocence out the window. Oh Lord Jesus, I am so glad we are not in church right now. Y'all bunch of motherfucking sinners. I love it.
Let's just say here, I'll give you guys a couple of the songs which I used in there because I use it like he's singing, like, Michael Jackson would be like singing the songs like after his parents, and I was like acting out the different stuff. I used the song Dirty Diana, Just Beat It, and You Are Not Alone.
Oh, the R. Kelly number. We circle back to R. Kelly.
Well, I would have stopped Smooth Criminal, but
Oh,
that's
Smooth
when he was
Criminal.
That's when he's creeping across the living room floor after the parents left. He's a smooth criminal then. And then he's looking at the dirty mag, and that's Dirty Diana, you know. And then you already know where Beat It comes in.
Yeah, Beat It's kind of
You're
obvious.
not alone.
Yeah, Beat It is the ultimate masturbation song. So I mean, come on.
For 13,
Wait.
they were like 13 years old.
Wouldn't after Beat It be
overcome.
black or white? Because it doesn't matter if you're black or.
Oh,
Hey,
more like black and blue.
You know what?
Oh.
I should have put that in there. That is, man, comedy brilliance. Comedy brilliance. And so
Y'all all going straight to hell. I swear to God, man. Y'all need some Jesus.
That's elevated straight to hell. That's what my English teacher always said.
and
That's
believe it or
right.
not, I'm the religious guy on the panel.
Look,
That
I
reminds
knew.
me.
Oh, go ahead, Elle.
That reminds me of my bringer show, which was actually at an Elderberries, which is a restaurant, a vegan restaurant. Ironically, I was a vegan at the time, so I was like, sweet. And I thought, okay, I'll get some food. And they're like, yeah, you got to pay for that. I'm like, okay, great. I'm performing here and I'm paying for my food, which
It
is
was a
how
bringer.
I'm going to be able to perform.
They said you
So-
better bring money because this shit ain't free.
Right? I went up on stage and I took song requests. That reminded me. And I just sang random songs like Journey's "Don't Stop Believing," just out of nowhere. Like, I'm sure the chick in the back
My
who
mom
put me
loves that
there,
song.
she was just like, "Are you fucking serious?" Because she got me. I was up there because I did a set of jokes, which were called. I'm trying to remember. You might be a psycho. That's not it. You might be a murderer if you blah blah blah. And it's like all these like really edgy kind of like things. I thought at the time that you might be considered a murderer. Somebody would think you're a serial killer. That's the word, serial killer. You might be a serial killer. Like you might be a redneck but you might be a serial killer if you have, I don't know, like a lot of tape and bags and people don't understand when you're moving them around. Like, whatever it is, like, there are tells. So I had like a whole list of that. I think I still have that list too of these jokes. And then I went totally off jokes, off comedy, like preparedness, and just went like riffed with the crowd, which wasn't that much of a crowd, but I just took song requests and just shot the shit with them, and that is not what they wanted. So I didn't get to go to another thing. But I did continue to do open mics over the years, as well as do central casting, extra work so I could pay some bills. I was literally just doing extra work for like a year of my life in California, in LA, and paying for like $300 something for a couch or a room, part of a room in someone's house in Silver Lake. So I paid my dues. I actually paid my dues of SAG-AFTRA as well, because I went into AFTRA and then they turned into SAG-AFTRA, and then I was like, sweet, I don't have to pay any more money like these suckers coming in, and I don't have to worry about vouchers. So then eventually they got the vax mandate stuff with the productions, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to pay for my dues anymore. So that's why I don't pay my dues anymore, and I consider myself a former actor, producer, director, blah blah blah, on my Twitter account. If you guys go there, you'll see former. And that's why, because it's all shit now.
We used to
Not to bring it down.
we used to do out in Cali. It was me and I used to work at Borders Books, and I met this guy Brad, a good friend of mine. He's still out there now, and we would do like a once a month show at this little joint called the Big Fish over in Glendale. It was right there on San Fernando Road, and it was like spit distance from a strip joint. So we would used to say if the crowd didn't laugh, at least the strippers across the street would, and But we had so much fun doing that shit. And then when I moved to New York, I kind of fell in with this dude that he had a once a month show that he'd do at this place that was condemned. But it still had a functioning bar and a back room in there, and we would have I'd do like maybe like 5-10 minutes in there, and I didn't even care. I was just happy to be there because I'm one of these people, I love being in that environment, you know what I mean? I like being around people that I like who are funny, you know. It's like when
the energy
because
that comes off of like being around like
exactly, like because I grew up with funny people, right? It was like, you know, some people say, "Oh, you're a funny guy." It's like, no, I'm not funny. You should hear this guy. You should hear this guy. And it's like together we were funny, you know.
Right.
But like, you know, individually we were humorous, but like together, that, like you said, that energy, you put it together. Oh, there's nothing like that, you know. Then you start putting on the Michael Jackson "Beat It" because it's so good.
No, my brother, he's funny actually. I am not. I just cracked.
You're
really
funny,
bad
Marcus.
You are funny, Marcus.
You are funny. You have very dry humor.
It's hilarious. Ask
Believe
Chris.
it or not, in high school,
Marcus
used to
and
act.
Emmanuel are the funniest dudes on the show. They're fucking
Chris,
Nah, I
don't
had
tell
to
your
work on
you
mine. It took work. It took a little work, and I'm still.
Well,
I'm
see,
still
the difference is
working.
Chris's humor is one of those full body humors. Like when he comes in dressed like Preacher Pat. I mean, come on, who could do better?
Damn.
I
He
mean,
preached the good word.
I just look at him like
Got
he's
his
about
ties
to,
today.
like I can see.
God damn.
He don't even have to say a word, but I can see him on him and like, yes, ladies of the church
He
offering.
put his hands on some old
Come
women's
on
heads,
down.
healed them.
I
can
just
see-
it.
The Lord healed you. Heal.
I can see Chris selling me a car in the valley. I can really see that. You're just like, what's it gonna take for me to put you in this 1991 Honda Civic? I know, look, it's pre-owned, but it's pre-loved too. Come on, y'all, bring it.
Come on,
Come
you
on.
know you want this 82 Subaru.
You a car preacher, Chris. Don't even fucking sweat it.
Come on down to Lawson's and
Yo,
Sons,
that is
where we got a
that
deal
is
for
hilarious.
you. I can see it.
That,
I can see
look,
it.
I've sold everything. I can't do sales anymore because I hate selling people 91 Honda Civics.
Well, you can't sell everything. I'm pretty sure Barry will have a problem with that.
You want Barry to start fighting people, don't you, Marcus? That's it. You want Barry to start fighting people. She
I
fight.
am a shit starter.
She would fight. She would fight. She would fight. Fight.
This is like one thing I hope never comes unheard, and I'm just gonna put it out there because you know what? How this internet world works, the shit comes out no matter what. So I might as well get ahead of the shit. In high school, we were having like a Jerry. This, believe it or not, this is a religious play. Because I did a bunch of plays in high school. And I played like 5 different characters in this play. There's this one Jerry Springer like part. And is this dude where he's going to admit to his girl that he's been cheating on her with a man. And then the dude, the fiance's man, he has a man also. And that was the character I was playing in that one. And I was... character called Mr. Bojangles, and you know, shirt all tied up, makeup on, and everything. I know that's gonna come out at some point, so I just
that sounds racist, Marcus.
Right now.
I'm gonna tell you right there. That sounds racist. But please continue.
Oh yeah. I was.
And this is Springer violence. This is the Springer violence era, right?
This is in high school, by the way. In the same play. I'm the friend of a kid who's about to get into trouble, and then I'm a gang member who shoots the kid also. And I played a couple other characters, and I don't know, it all just blurred together. But I just want to put that out there in case that comes out at some point.
Respect the versatility.
Oh yeah,
Please.
I mean within like an hour, well maybe 2 hours, I played like 6 characters. So had to like change up postures, dress, everything, running in and out. Oh my goodness! And then I had another play where the city like function. You know how like they'll have like if the drama department is going to do a play and they'll say, oh well, you guys, if you do like 4 plays, these 4 plays, then we'll pay for your budget or whatever. And so like Little Shop of Horror was one of them and a couple other ones. But we did Our American President. For people who don't know the history on Our American President, that's the play which Abraham Lincoln was watching when he got assassinated. Dark history, but that's that's the play we did. And I completely forgot all my lines the whole show. And so I literally ad-libbed the whole entire play in a British accent, just making up my own lines.
Let's hear the accent.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You guys have heard it when I did Spoon Boy. Remember that one?
Spoon Boy.
Because normally how I do it is I have to read something. Okay, all
Look,
right. I'm
Bulla.
gonna go into.
Spoon Boy.
Hold
on. Marcus, hold on. Let's explain this so Bulla can catch up, right?
Right.
So Bulla, Elle had us do a reading of The Matrix.
Right. Okay.
Movie, the first one.
It was amazing.
Elle had us all be characters, and we had to read the script literally.
Yeah.
Elle was reading like the in between the dialogue parts, and Marcus was Spoon Boy, and it's just funny to see Marcus as Spoon Boy because visually speaking, they look so similar. It was just funny as hell. You know what I'm saying?
It's bad when I think of Spoon Boy though. I think of like the one episode I saw of Oz, and he's like, "Yeah, show me what you can do with that spoon." And I was like,
"Oh, my innocence out the window!" Oh shit!
Really don't.
Oz like traumatized me that night. I was like, "No." Too much. I've seen too much. I'm not old enough to watch this.
No, Oz was. Oh boy! Wow. That sounds like the popcorn popper thing Elle was talking about earlier, man. I'm like, what the hell kind of shit you talking about?
You sure you was popping some popcorn, Elle? I wonder.
Look, Elle mentioned the couch. Elle mentioned the couch one too many times. I got questions, Elle.
I did too.
Oh, Jesus.
He has a resume too. Like he's been on like the guy who was Me Too'd. He was on like a lot of shows, including like Modern Family. A lot of these dudes ended up on Modern Family, like doing improv scenes and stuff.
Elle, you said you did extra work. What's the biggest thing you did? What was the biggest thing you were on?
The most noticeable.
The biggest thing she did. That's inappropriate to ask that question.
Not the biggest popper.
The most noticeable thing. The most noticeable thing was The Big Bang Theory. I was pretending to do my homework and fake eating in the background, and you can see me in one of the episodes. Don't ask me which one. Well, it's one. Okay, I think they invent like an app. So if you look up for like an episode with an app, and the guys are like inventing an app. I don't remember what it was, but there's an app involved. And I'm in the background in the cafeteria, and you can see me very clearly. Also, I was on Glee, and I got to cry on cue. I was on Glee a few times as a teenager. We'll say I'm a teenager there. And I was actually directed by Eric Stoltz himself. So that was quite an event to actually be directed by the director in a show at all as a featured extra, which was like my biggest thing at that point. And I like prepared for my crying scene by listening to a lot of sad songs, including Fix You by Coldplay and Hurt by Johnny Cash. That's the last one that I listened to before I went to set. And then I also met the guy who played Blaine on there, who was named Chris, the other Chris, Darren Chris. And I met him, and we had a laugh together at the prom scene. It was the prom episode. So if you want to see that episode and me crying, Promosaurus is the name
Hollywood
of that episode.
royalty here.
Yeah, we got Team Hollywood right here.
My first thing was a movie called Iron Man 2. You may have heard of it.
Oh, wow.
The big Madison Square Garden.
Is that porn? Is that porn?
Probably.
Is it like
some people. This scene could be porn because it has some very, very undressed ladies.
I'm with you, Bulla. Like that sounds like
But it was a green screen because we were actually in El Segundo, which nobody would know, not Madison Square Garden. And
I know
got
El
to watch
Segundo from
RDJ act.
I know El Segundo from Sanford and Son because Red Fox would always talk about, you big dummy, we gotta go up to El Segundo. I was in two episodes of Law and Order SVU. One where we were at a crab shack in Long Island City, and I had like this pedophile dad mustache, and it was funny because being this late.
Hold on, you in LIC, Bulla?
What, Long Island City? Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, baby. Of course, man.
I didn't know you was...
East Coast, son. Wait a minute. The East Coast is the least coast. So I'm in Long Island City playing this like Ned Flanders looking motherfucker because I straight up had this fucking mustache, and this was like when the shit wasn't white, and back when I wasn't racist. And anyway, I actually worked with Ice-T. What? Now let me drop that name. Oh! And so I'm in a crab shack in Long Island City with Ice-T with this lady, and neither one of us had kids, but we played parents, and we just loved the irony. And the other one, I was a security guard with Stacy Keach, if you know who that is.
Yeah.
Mike Hammer.
Oh, okay.
Mike Hammer, yeah. Oh, another name. Oh, I'm so weak. I'm dropping these names. And
they're falling on me.
But it was, I actually got some screen time because this crazy white bitch was in the elevator, and this one security guy's dragging her out of the elevator. She's like, you think I'm a thought? You did all this shit to me. And I got to come up like, come on, crazy white bitch, let's go. And, but you know, I didn't have any lines, but the motion said, come on, crazy white bitch. And then the back of my head is in an episode of Orange is the New Black. And,
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome, man.
yeah, central casting.
I got
That's
to
right.
have cancer and actually go to surgery.
Lucky!
In an episode of Hawthorne. Hawthorne, if you guys remember that show with Michael Vartan, who was literally the one moving my gurney. So I was like, yes, I got a cancer diagnosis in my story because I always make a story up when I'm acting in a show, no matter what kind of part I have. And I made a story that I was getting told I had cancer in the very beginning of the scene, where you can see me in the background and I seem to be very distraught while I'm getting the news and I'm crying. And then later on, I'm crying on the gurney as I'm going into surgery. It was a whole big thing. But nobody would know other than me. And then on an episode of The Big Bang Theory where they had John Landis, before I knew about the whole, beheading situation in the 90s, late 80s, in the Twilight Zone movies. Before I even knew about that, I was like, ooh, John Landis, because I didn't know, because it was hidden from my history growing up, unfortunately. But at that time, I was like, I'm very excited. I'm seeing John Landis in this episode. Actually, it wasn't The Big Bang Theory. This was a different show. This is called, I don't know the name of the show, Hollister or something like that. Holliston. I don't know, something weird fucking shit show. But like it didn't air for very long. It was like very sci-fi oriented and was on Hulu, so I didn't really know how to watch it. But I ended up playing a witch character because they had to have a costume. You know how they have to have a costume that's not like trademarked and everything. So I was like a witch. And then I was like pretending that my boyfriend was late to the convention because we're at a convention. And I'm like trying to get him on the phone. And I have like a fake cell phone in my ear and everything the whole time. That was fun. And then I'm waiting in line to see John Landis in that episode.
Anytime
but, I had a lot of experiences.
I guess my favorite, my famous moment was I was on People's Court with Harvey Levin.
What? What?
Hell yeah!
You was on People's Court?
I was one of them.
What?
No, I was just outside. I was just outside when he said, "What do you think about the crazy shit inside?" And I was just standing. He was like, "How about you?" And I was actually leaving college, walking outside. I was on 66 in Lexington in Manhattan, and I go outside and Harvey Levin and a whole bunch of people out there. So he just was like, "What did you think about what you saw?" I was like, I'm just trying to get on the train. I ain't know what I saw, but this show is crazy as fuck. I'm out of here.
I did a lot of audience work too. Like that was a thing. Like you get $50 for the day in cash, and sometimes they pay you, sometimes they don't. Standing room only did not pay, and we had to wait in line for out in the sun for like an hour to get paid. Finally,
Let's see,
Um,
all of y'all are lucky. I only met like one. I've only met like literally like one famous person. And it was simply because I was delivering a pizza to him. And
Who was it?
Steve Harvey.
oh hell yeah!
Oh,
Well, not really.
nice.
I don't know.
Tell us
Because he
about
lives
it.
yeah,
in
for
he lives
whichever
in
side.
because he lives in Atlanta. He lives in one of those well, I don't know where he lives now, but when I was delivering the pizza to him, he lived in one of those big houses up north from where the pizza place was, and I think it was like his son who ordered like a pizza, and I drove up and he was sitting on the staircase, and he just kind of looked like he was working, and he was smoking a cigar outside, and he was asking what my life's ambition was and what my goals were,
To
Wow.
not be
and then,
talking to you.
and then he tried to sell me his latest book.
Of
Or
course.
get me
That was the
Oh,
whole point.
but still, like, I think that's a really.
Yeah.
My boss was mad later because they were like, "Why didn't you drop my name so that I could get like the money on the side?"
Wow. I met Tyler Perry a couple of times. It was very uncomfortable for both of us.
Yeah.
At the
What
movie
was it
theater.
about Tyler
But
Perry?
but Elle, to your defense, you do call your show super awkward for a reason.
Well, he didn't know about that, and neither did I at the time. So it's not really. It was pre improv days. It
No,
was
no,
just
I'm
me and
saying
the
that
ATL.
you can do that awkward thing.
Yeah,
Marcus,
it was very awkward, especially when I mistook him for my not general manager, whatever manager was before that guy. You know, the guy who would come to regional manager or something like that. He would come to the theater and check things. He looked very similar in build and facial structure to Tyler Perry. So I confused the two and said, "Hey, whatever his last name was." And Tyler was like, "What?" And this was our second meeting, so it was not good.
was he
But the
dressed?
first meeting, I said I watched all his movies, and I had not seen Meet the Browns, and still haven't since. So I
I
lied.
haven't seen any of Tyler Perry's TV shows. I've never
What?
sat through any
I
of
was
it. Any
really
of his
sucking up.
movies?
I
either.
have.
I haven't sat through a single one.
I won't lie. Occasionally, I watch some Tyler. Well, I put it this way: women I've dated love watching Tyler Perry movies.
Ah,
Like, oh, I got one celebrity story. Well,
Yeah, bring
I
it.
got two, but I'll give you the best one, so I won't take up too much time. When I was working at one of my jobs, I worked at an amphitheater. At the time, it was called Sandstone Amphitheater. Now it's called like Verizon or some shit. Anyway, one of my jobs was like setting up the hospitality room for the acts that were coming in. I just happened to be a little bit late and still in the room at the time the celebrity came, and she was like, "Boy, just relax. You're working so hard. It's hot outside. Just go sit down and relax." One of the nicest celebrities I've ever run across. Was Tina Turner. She was fucking amazing. I was like 17, 18 at the time. She was super nice. Still gorgeous. Gorgeous as hell. I mean, at that point, she's like 55, 60. Legs are still better than most 20-year-olds. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be misogynistic, but I'm just saying.
You hate women, Marcus. Just admit it.
I don't care. Tina Turner 90. I still hit that. I still would. I didn't even give a fuck, man. Tina, I'm your private dancer, a dancer for money. Whoa, damn! Beat it! I'd be singing "Beat It," and then I would be beating it because she would never have sex with me. That's why whenever I have to be in something where I need to cry, I think about my sex life, and then I go, oh, so sad, single tear.
It's like I'm gonna give a guilty admission. I sit there and wonder, like, if I ran across celebrities that I used to find attractive who are no longer attractive, would I still want to hit it like I did when I was younger? And I found myself being like, yep, I'd probably still do it. Because I was thinking like I used to be in love with like Suzanne Summers back in the day.
Marcus.
And I don't know if you've seen her lately. She's kind of
Marcus,
She
perfect
looked like
example.
Suzanne Winter.
Look, perfect example. I know people don't think she's the prettiest in the face, but Serena Williams remembered my name when I was working at the Open, and she'd be like, "Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris," and I was just like, my friends was like, "Yo, why don't you talk to her? She keep calling your name." But I was like, I'm a broke college student. She ain't gonna really like want to talk to me, but she damn sure was talking to me. That's my one regret in life. I mean,
I would
right there next
I would
to
have pulled
her,
a Will Smith
like,
for real. I would have just been like,
for the whole time. She was like, "Hey, Chris." I'm like, "Oh." My homeboy hit me on the side like, "Yo, dog, she said your name, kid. She didn't say nobody's name." But you know,
Hey,
I was too
you
hesitant.
you stronger than me. I would have pulled. I mean, it would have been straight
No.
like SWV. I would have got weak in the knees and just collapsed.
Look, like I was at their match. It got rained out. I'm holding the umbrella over her. I put the towel over her shoulders, and I'm sitting there like, and she's talking to me like, "Oh yeah, da da da," and I was like, "Are you mad? It's raining," and just simple little conversation type shit. You know what I'm saying? But she was talking to me. My homeboy was like kicking me in the back the whole night, like, "Yo, you fucked up. You should have said something."
Yeah,
To
you
this
could have
day, I
been
can
like,
remember-
Miss Williams, I'm wet.
Well, I would have been. Look, I would have been the new age Stedman. I would have been.
You stupid! You stupid! I'm wet. I'm Aquaman. No, I like them thick. That's why I shop at Costco. Because you know I like budget. You know I like to get a lot for a little. So
look,
what happened?
I was saying after the
We
fact,
still
I would
live?
have been Stedman. She wouldn't have had say my name. She could do whatever. I'd have been at home like, "Oh, you home for the man?
Stedman! Oh, that's on my Oprah. You talking about an Oprah thing? Damn, Oprah thing. Shit. Whoo! Damn, we need Jesus up in here soon. Come on back. Come on back. We need you. Oh shit, we need to wrap this motherfucker up.
Believe it or not, my girl asked me the other day. She was like, "So, if Oprah was hitting on you, would you mess with her?" I'd be like, "I would leave you. Yes, I would leave you."
Now, wait. Which Oprah? Skinny Oprah or thick
Yo,
Oprah?
E, you funny. E, you said sorry.
Billionaire Oprah.
Say sorry.
Thick bank account Oprah. Okay. Yeah, all right. Now then, all right. I see where you're coming from. Damn, this devolved into some shit, man. What happened?
Well, you didn't know what you would get with us. Like, granted, we normally be on our topics and button up, but hey, if you give us a format to just be silly, hey, I mean, birds of a feather flock together. So
Look, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to figure out the formula so we can repeat this shit because this is some good shit.
You know what? If I'm not too drunk, I might even try to do that British accent for you guys. But if I can
you should do it. No, go ahead. Look, you need to tie this up with a bow, with the British bow. Let's hear it,
Marcus. Since we're doing accents, I'll show you. You know the people who watch our show, they know that I have a really good Indian accent.
He does.
Oh no. Oh no, this channel is going to get so erased. Oh my God. The last Bulla show.
I really do it really well. That is because I'm talking to them every day.
Oh Jesus.
My cousin. We're going to get cancelled, but we are going back to Bombay. I'm sorry.
Ain't no we, it's me. It's my show, bitch. I'm getting canceled. This don't say political matrix on this show. This is extra motherfucking Bulla. This was the last show of forever. All right, let's hear it. Come on, 007, let's hear it.
I would like to say all the problems which are going on, all of the nonsense which is going on is public discretion, and it is due to Chris Lawson. It is in no way the fault of Uncle Warren.
Can I tell you something? Like when I see black people on Black Mirror, doing a British accent. It freaks me out. I'm like, whoa, what's this? What's this? What's this? This is, I don't, why aren't you like Jeeves? Why aren't you like this, hey, hello? Why aren't you like looking like, anyway, this really devolved. Who else? You got, Elle, y'all got some accents? Let's hear it. Fuck it. This show's canceled anyway.
Yeah.
Call me now.
Miss Cleo!
Predict your future. Call me now.
Yeah.
One which I used to do.
I see into your mind's eye. Call me now.
You reminded me of that one now. You guys remember the movie Steven Seagal, Marked for Death?
Oh, yeah.
Screwface? He'd be like, who do it, white boy?
Yo, Mark for Death was funny. Those
Good,
Jamaicans, yo, their accents were horrible.
Cleo!
Horrible.
Cleo! Oh, shit. Oh, God. I'm dehydrated because I cried tears of joy this whole night. Oh, fuck. Come on, Elle. What you got? Let's hear it.
Well, I did an
Klaus.
Aussie accent back in the day while I was working at Office Depot in front of an Aussie couple, and they were like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "You know, I'm just, from LA. I'm sorry."
You had to give it
not
up,
what it
right?
is. Sorry, we're not the same. I apologize.
No, believe it or not, like what I would do is like what I used to do, like practicing my accents, is like I would read something over and over in the accent till I get it down and then get all the lingos. And I literally went to the UK and walked around for a whole day talking to British people in the British accent, and got away with it a couple times. But I have to like practice it. It's like the more and more I do it, the more it starts ironing out the Americanisms in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, yes, I'm actually a chap from Bournemouth.
I like to do the British accent as well every once in a while. When I was reading Shakespeare, I would always do it in a very hoity-toity English accent, even though that's not where Vienna is. But that's okay. You just choose whatever works for you in that moment. And that's all we ever see on screen is British people playing, Italians or what have you, in all these stories. So why not? Go along with it. It's fine.
Damn, Elle, you sound fine as fuck. You single? Listen, I would
we've been trying to hook Elle up for like 2 months now.
No.
She keeps denying it, but we need to get Elle hooked up. So those in the crowd, if you know anybody in the California
in the LA area that wants to play,
if you know anyone in the LA area
with Elle,
no,
correct, you gotta hook them up with Elle.
It's no for me.
I'm a big time sucker for accents though. I ain't gonna lie. I mean that's just like woo. No country boy ain't heard shit like that before. But I will tell you this. So me and my lady friend, we will be in the city, right? And she's from Chinese descent, right? But she sounds like she's from Minnesota, right? Because she kind of talks like this a little bit. I'm like, oh fuck. Anyway, so we'll be someplace. Oh, you know.
I don't you know.
We're gonna go up to Thunder Bay. We're gonna go up there to Canada, go up to Thunder Bay, go get some Molsons. But we'll be someplace, right? And these racist fuckers will come up to us and like think that she don't know English, right? And she probably knows better English than I do because I'm from the South. Anyway, so they'll ask me because Honky McCracker. They'll say, "Oh, can you tell us where so and so is?" And so I'll pull off this fake German accent. I'll go, and she'll go, "What he's saying is you want to go 2 blocks down this way, and then you want to take a left," and they'll all go, "What?" And then their brain explodes, and then we have a laugh, and then we go have sex. So
and that sounds violent, and that sounds violent as hell. And you just said go 2 blocks down.
Right? No, she would do it in her Minnesota accent. She go, "Oh, you want to go down 2 blocks here
What?
and take a left there."
What
And
don't
I'm
you
like, I'm sounding like some character from Hogan's Heroes, like, because I'm white and I look like the Aryan race. So, anyway, I like to fuck with people. These fucking racists, they're assholes. They deserve it.
Hell yeah. You just got to mess with people all day. All day.
You do, and they deserve it too. Fuck them.
Like I
You know what
crack
I
on,
mean?
I crack on Emmanuel because like Emmanuel will never do an African accent when he's like the only one who has a damn African name. Like
I don't have one.
what are you doing, Umbaku?
Should have one, but don't.
I don't know. That was my Lion King. I just like to do the
I told him all he has to do is just give me 2 words, do the Black Panther. I never freeze.
Oh. I want to see Emmanuel be the new Black Panther. I would love to see that. Would you do it, E?
They gotta create.
I could never kneel to the CIA. I mean, that's not that.
They gotta bring them back.
That's the
Yeah.
answer I was looking for. That's the answer I was looking
Good
for.
point.
Good
Good
job.
point.
I could not do that.
That was my main criticism of that film, to be honest.
I could not.
And
do
also
that.
that it's not written by African people.
I can do it
It's
for the
written by-
money, and I will tell you, I all did it for the money. I'll be telling y'all, hey, I sold out. Everybody, I sold the fuck out. They paid me $50 million. Yes, I sold out. Middle fingers.
Look, they pay me $50 million. Fuck, I'll be Black Panther. I don't give a fuck. Y'all go show up, man. I'll be like, yeah, man. Y'all can't see us. We got this shield around us and shit.
And then
All
after I
right,
cash the
please.
check, I'll be like, yo, this is some State Department shit. Make sure you check the credits. Look down at the bottom. You'll see CIA, DOD. Yes, the Air Force, because we used 2 of their planes. Yeah, go ahead and read down through all that shit, and they're probably going to kill me tomorrow. Bye.
Well, it's nice to know that both of our channels are going to be canceled after tonight. So, I just say, safety in numbers. We'll have to.
Look,
Solidarity. We'll have to start.
They tried to cancel us. I think it was probably January or February of 21.
Yeah, we were in some trouble.
Really?
Yeah, we were getting a lot of heat. I mean, we couldn't hardly say shit. I mean,
I was talking. This is when Emmanuel thought I was crazy, and I was just talking so much shit about Fauci, and I was putting up shit about him related to AIDS and all this other shit. And next thing you know, it was like Marcus hit me up that morning, like, oh, matter of fact, my son who watches was like, "Hey, Dad, they took down your episode," and I text the group and I was like, "Yo, my son told me that they took down our episode."
Yep.
We were going in on Fauci, and that was way early on. I was talking about COVID shit when Marcus and Emmanuel was like, "Yo, Chris might be a little crazy," but I was talking reckless of COVID from 2020.
Yeah, Chris was like, and I'll tell you, for those who don't believe in things, like on my other channel, though, what I've been thinking, I have a video. It's called talking about the Spanish flu. I know that's not appropriately named, but in that, I'm talking about how serious we need to make sure be careful this and be careful on that and be careful on this, and then you'll start seeing my coverage start changing because stuff Chris was saying was panning the fuck out over and over and over. Like, and you'll see Emmanuel, like, even when we first started out, Emmanuel, he'd be like, okay, it was almost like every show he was interviewing us, like, what the fuck are these 2 motherfuckers talking about? They are fucking crazy as fucking crab legs. I mean, and then eventually he starts saying, well, wait a minute. I got a fucking point here. This shit ain't adding up. And like, that's like the phrase on our show now. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You're going to tell me, okay, so you need to put on a mask to walk into the restaurant. And then you're going to sit down and eat. And for that whole duration of time, you're not spreading anything. You're perfectly fine. And then you need to put it back on for the fucking 30 seconds you walk out. And then kids I'm not gonna get you in trouble. I'm not gonna go there. But kids need to wear them motherfucking masks. It's like fucking, hey, while you're eating, pull that shit back up and down, up and down, up and down. But you go to fucking work and you watch the Super Bowl and they're like, fuck it, free time, no mask.
Yeah.
And it's like, make it make sense.
It's never going to make sense, at least not to people that need it. You know what I mean? It makes sense to us, you know, in the fact that we know the bullshit that's going on. But some of these people out there, man, these cultists, it's just like, come on, dude, break out. Jim Jones is going to make you drink that Kool-Aid, and you're going to die, man. Come on, you know?
That's a great point. That's a great point, Bulla, referencing.
Let me say this
that's a great point, Bulla, referencing Jim Jones. And it's funny, the people who are quick to point at others and say, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist," they're the ones who believe in the biggest conspiracies.
Yeah,
they listen to what the media, the government, and what the pharmaceutical companies say, which we all know to be full of shit. So we're actually not the conspiracy theorists. It is the other side.
But
like everything else. And this is Satan's playground, so up is down, down is up, and left is right, right is left.
And I would like to tell everybody. Actually, I should probably do this. I would like to tell everybody, please stop worshiping at the dick, the micro penis of Anthony Fauci.
Hey, don't be talking about my tiny little dick, all right? All right? Just because I got a little dick, it's not a needle dick, all right? I didn't become a doctor because I have a needle dick, all right?
Anthony, it looks like an extra belly button.
I get all the ladies, all right? All right? I look like, I am the Dollar Tree Mel Brooks. I am a Dollar Tree Mel Brooks.
Only because of your bank account, Anthony. Only because of your bank account, Anthony.
Oh, Jesus. Well, listen, my bladder's about to bust, so that's a good time to end this motherfucker. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to get all you crazy assholes back on here soon. And I'm going to be on your show, too. And I'm going to probably be drunker than this. So, so watch out, ladies. Wink. Daddy's coming. What happened? So, Elle, Marcus, Chris, Emmanuel, let's start with Elle. Elle, where can people find you? I got all your Twitter links in the description below, but if y'all got anything individual that you got going on, Elle, what you got going on?
Well, like I said, my podcast is superawkwardfuncast.podbean.com. It's kind of a lot, but if you look up Super Awkward Funcast, you'll find it on whatever search engine you use. And again, you know, the political matrix, obviously we're all on that together. And I'm coming up on Ladies Night, co-hosting with Hunter on Lucky Burrito's show. So that's going to be very exciting. It's going to be my third time participating, and I'm very excited about it. We've done some fun shit there as well. Really long streams, which cause a stream. So I can't go too long with anyone on a stream until I start streaming. So that's something I'm very concerned with, like you, Uncle Bulla. Uncle Warren, Bulla. Is it Bulla?
Bulla's fine.
Booyah? Is it Booyah or Bulla? Because you said Booyah before. So I want to say it the right way.
It's anything
Booyah?
you want, baby. If you do that British accent
That's what I
again.
want. And then you can see all the avatars that I do on all the different shows. If you watch a lot of political and matrix shows, you'll see various avatars and what they are, and I explain what they mean. And this one's pretty simple. It's self-explanatory. He needs glasses. He can't see the teleprompter. He's having trouble, just like in every speech that he does. And I watch a lot of them too. So I missed a dead dog story yesterday because I was so bored from his speech that I was on the cusp of falling asleep, but didn't get there until I watched Saki's performance. So I took a 2-hour nap after that one.
She? Yeah.
But they keep me entertained all the time. So that's how I spend my time.
Cool. Chris, what about you, my friend? Yes, D Mike.
You're You just catch me on Twitter, by my name. I think it's Silawson8. You put in the chat below. I work a lot. I do have a real job. You know, I put in a lot of hours. I do this just for the love, just for the jokes, just to get some steam off. Because we all look at society, we see things that don't make sense, and instead of raging all the time, you find outlets, and I let my Twitter fingers do their thing. I get my jokes off, or get my thoughts off, whatever. So that's really where I'm at. You can find me on the street trying to help a homeless person,
Right on.
with the exception of the one who called me a bitch yesterday because I ain't give him $1, not knowing I ain't got no motherfucking cash on me. You piece of shit. So when I see you in the street tomorrow, it's gonna
Quit
be
it!
a
I'm
problem.
about to pee. Don't do that shit. I'm gonna pee.
But all the rest of the homeless,
Bitch, give me a beer, bitch.
correct. Everybody around here know, all the homeless people, they know. They all see me and they say, "Oh, if he ain't give us anything, that means he don't have it. Other than that, he always takes care of us. Leave him alone." So my name is good in these streets with these homeless people. So I always tell
Except
people,
for
try
that
to
one.
take care of homeless. Yeah, except for that one. He was mad. I
See
was
me
in
in
the
the
car.
street, bitch. See me in the streets,
No,
bitch.
I had my window closed. He came up to me. I shook my head. I was like, "Nah," like this. And he, through the window, he was like holding his sign. He was like, "Bitch." I was on the phone like, "Yo, this motherfucker just called me a bitch."
Oh shit!
So, but
I know
I'ma
punk
still get-
bitch. I know punk bitch.
correct. But I'll still buy him a breakfast sandwich if I see him in the morning, because that's just how it is. So just
That's
take
beautiful.
care of people. That's all I got.
I appreciate you, man. All right, Emmanuel. What about you,
Thank
brother?
you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Just Twitter so far. You can find me under the Blue Maverick. I'm usually posting about whatever. And always feel free to just shout out, say hi, give me a follow.
Right on, right on. And the Kingpin, Marcus.
He is a lot more fiery too on Twitter. You guys ought to see some of the shit he fires off. Hey, just look for Marcus Cage. You guys can find me on fucking Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. I got like 4 Twitter pages, so if you can't find me, that's your own fucking fault. I have 3 YouTube channels. Hebrew Apologetics, where I am a lot more buttoned up, more serious, breaking down the Bible and things like that. If you're interested in that, cool, come join me. If not, hey, if you're whatever, fine. Believe whatever you want to believe. Then the Political Matrix on Saturday nights, 9 p.m.
Is that
Eastern?
Is that going to be this weekend? That's going to be the new time.
This weekend will be the new time. So 6
Right on.
p.m. on the West Coast, and that'll be 8 p.m. for Emmanuel on the not Emmanuel. What am I thinking? Oh, wait a minute. We don't have anybody who's Central Time, but anybody who's Central Time, it's it'll be 8. And then 4 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on What I've Been Thinking. I'll have a panel of guests. Chris, if you can make it, I would love to have you over there. I know I was meaning to ask you, but I've been busy trying to wrangle everybody else. You know how hard that is. And I know I can normally hit my boy Chris 2 seconds.
You already know.
Yes, no, yes, no,
exactly.
maybe. And some of these other people, I gotta like talk to them like fucking 2 weeks out in advance, and it comes down to the last day, and they're like, "Okay, I can do it." So you know,
you already know, man. Just hit my phone. You hit me anytime.
So you guys will see Sunday What I've Been Thinking on my What I've Been Thinking with Marcus Cage channel, which the name might be changing soon, or What We've Been Thinking. It would be me, Chris, Nico House, Savvy Sabs, Glory Jones from Slow News Day, and I'm forgetting somebody. Dontel Hines from Unapologetic. Hopefully he could make it. He wants to make it, but you never know. Scheduling things like that can happen. So that is the plan. Find us all on Twitter. We all talk a lot of shit, and you will see Uncle Warren coming to join us pretty soon. So look forward to that, and look forward to more craziness because we're full of crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Warren on the. I can't wait to see Warren on the Saturday night on that juice. That's gonna be fucking hilarious.
The juice is loose.
Look, I'm lit like a candle right now. I ain't even gonna fucking lie to y'all about that shit. I am drunk as a skunk. So, but I like to get drunk with friends, and I like to say that y'all my pals, and I gotta tell you that what the fuck is that? You got some corn liquor up in there? You got some mash?
I ain't gonna say what I got here. I got a little shout.
You got some of that country Kool-Aid? Is that what it is? Straight from the woods?
I got the juice that makes you feel loose, baby.
You got that wood grade alcohol up in there. You bringing that Everclear? I ain't never drank Everclear.
Hey,
I've heard the horror stories about that bullshit.
It's just like the Yin Yang twins would say, Chris, you know what I'm about to say. Ain't no Kool-Aid in my cup. Give me that Grey Goose.
Exactly.
Is that like the popcorn popper? Is that code? Is that what? Did you burn yourself on the popper?
No, it's just what they said in the song. That's it.
Did them burns come with Valtrex? No, I'm just playing.
I'm too white to be hip, but I will tell you this. I love all of y'all. Seriously, this I knew tonight was going to be fun, but fuck, I didn't know it was going to be this much fun. I mean, this just went like I thought it was going to be about here, and then this shit went off screen. So
you got to remember, you caught us during a somewhat serious segment, and we still joke around in our serious shit because we know most of this shit is bullshit, and so we're not like this one. I'm not gonna try to talk bad on them, but they're over there fucking having a corner. The fucking Democrats or blah 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 blah. Nah, we're not doing all that because we all know these motherfuckers are full of shit, and so why manufacture the rage every episode? We just fucking laugh at this shit at a point.
Mm-hmm.
And then we let Elle take out all the stress.
I know, and you guys are such a great team too, and I wish you all much success going forward with the show. And more and more people need to hear what y'all have to say, and I really appreciate y'all coming on.
Can I say one last thing? I forgot. Sorry.
Sure.
One last thing. I got something in the works, big that I'm working on. Another show where I'm going to be co-hosting with somebody.
Uh-oh.
Me and Chris, we've talked about me and Chris's thing, but this is something else that's coming. So
really?
It's something big. I'm excited about it. Once I get it worked out, just keep
Marcus,
your ears to the fucking ground. That's all I'll say.
God damn, Marcus leaving us on a cliffhanger. What the fuck, man? You know the show got canceled tonight, right? You know we ain't never gonna find out what that shit is. It's just like was it Quantum Leap? And he never made it home. Oh fuck, man! Why you gotta tell me that shit? Why you gotta tell me that shit?
I was like, fuck! Come on, Ziggy! Come on, Ziggy!
And what a fuck you that show was, right? It's like, oh man, it was such a great episode. They said at the end, fuck you. He never made it home. Eat shit. I love all of y'all. Y'all my family. Yeah. I appreciate you. I can't wait to be on your show again so I can get your show canceled. So I got some shit. I ain't even scratched the surface tonight. You just wait. I get on that show. It's going to be like they were putting them color bars up in the tone. Please stand by. The shit got canceled. I can't say goodbye to you. I just want to bring you in for a big old hug, like a digital hug. Come on in here. Yeah. Come on. It's like mama. It's like that grandma with the big titties. You come on in here. Give us some love up in here. Oh, you're smothering me. Oh shit. I gotta go.
Nothing like sweaty titty love.
Oh, grandma sweaty titty love. That's the best, because you probably gonna get some cake or pie or something out of that shit later. You just gotta survive them titties.
Maybe some Bone Jago chicken.
Right? Come on, you know you want some of this oxtail, boy. All right. What? No, I just heard a lady down at the Governor's Island. She has a Jamaican stand, and she said, "Come on, boy, you know you want this oxtail." I'm like, "What is that code? Call me now for your free reading. Anyway.
Now.
Call me now. Oh my God.
Free reading.
I can't quit you. All right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody in the chat. Let's shout out one more time. We got Gamer Choosy, Misha, Reefer After Dark. Oh, check out Reefer After Dark tomorrow night. You got a show tomorrow, Reefer. I'm not sure who's gonna be on there, but I think he's gonna be on at 10 Eastern, something like that. Steve Wolfbrand, Choosy. We got who else we got in here? We got in here. Signs, Mariana, Variant. Appreciate y'all coming by tonight. And the rest of the gang, you know I shouted them out earlier. I'm too drunk to do this shit. All right. I love all y'all. Have a great night. And as always, wash your ass, because nobody likes a dirty ass unless you pay extra. Good night. Yeah, right? Truth. Good night, everybody. Peace out.
Bye. Night, guys.
Bye. Thank you. Sleep well.
Sleep well.
Bye.